Hello! Today we'll be looking
Hey, you.
What?
Yes, you. You know, I think you've had enough time with the audience at this point. Why don't you go ahead and play with your deck elsewhere? Now that does look interesting. Let's give it a closer look. Yahoo! This is code Arcturus. I made this. It is my first fully completed indie game that I released on Steam back in August 2020. It is a 2D side-scroller run-and-gun game. Some may even call it a rage game.
Basz meg! Ne! Ne is hülye állat rakott ide izét! Kék anál bizgentyűt!
It released with little to no fanfare, and this of course wasn't surprising as I had no clue about marketing and such at the time. But I was fine with it. I always intended the game to be more of a learning experience on how to build games, test them, and publish them on Steam. One wish I did have, however, was that eventually it would be picked up by the speedrunning community. You can tell by looking at the game and even its store page, I was very much influenced by speedrunning when designing Code Arcturus. I was hoping someone looking for a niche game to run for an easy world record would come across it at some point. But that hasn't happened. So I decided it's time I took matters into my own hands. If no one wants to run it, I will. So, as with any legitimate speedrun, the first step is setting up a leaderboard on speedrun.com. Of course, first I would need the game itself to be approved. After reading through all the rules and guidelines, I submitted Code Arcturus to the site. As soon as it got approved, I created two categories for the leaderboard: any percent, where you start with a fresh file and complete the game as fast as possible, and what I call speedrun percent, where you play the full game speedrun mode that unlocks after you beat the game. In this mode, you have all your skills unlocked and have to beat all levels in order in one go. It's been a while, so it took me a few hours to grind out an acceptable time for my initial leaderboard entry for the speedrun percent, an in-game time of 19 minutes 41. Now of course, it's not too fun being the only one running a game. Competition would be really cool. And that's why I am challenging you now to beat the world record in my game. I will keep playing it myself, but to anyone who manages to beat my record, they will get the small prize of naming one of the NPCs in my upcoming game Gridlocked, which you can wishlist on Steam, or check out my devlogs on it. And if there is enough competition, to the person who keeps the world record by the end of this, I will let them not only name a major NPC character, but also write the whole backstory for them. And I will somehow integrate this NPC into the game. The cutoff date will be the end of April. That's when whoever holds the world record will receive this special prize. And anyone who has a better time than me in both categories will be allowed to name a minor NPC character in the game. And also, it goes without saying that all of these winners would get a free copy of Gridlocked once it releases at some point. If you are interested in speedrunning the game, here are 5 Steam keys. If you missed your chance, I am going to be running a 75% discount on Steam for the upcoming week, so you can grab Code Arcturus for $1 single. If you've never speedrun a game before, don't worry, neither have I. If you watch my run, you will see it as far from perfect. I make many small mistakes and suffer from a bunch of small time losses. And I also have a giant time loss of more than 2 minutes because I died once on the final boss. You may have noticed that the any percent category doesn't have any submissions yet, including from myself. That's because I'm still trying to achieve a respectable time that won't embarrass me. In the unlikely event that someone beats me to the punch and uploads a fairly decent attempt at the category before me, I will give them a special award. I don't know what that is yet, but it will have to be something quite big. Honestly, I don't think that's gonna happen. I hope. So yeah, if you have any interest in speedruns and platforming games, give it a go. I'm really excited to see what you guys can come up with. Keep in mind that glitches are allowed in both categories, so feel free to break apart the game as much as you like. I've also uploaded my splits to splits.io, so feel free to download them and use them. If you have any questions related to the game or need some background info about the code or whatever, feel free to DM me on Twitter. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video interesting, do leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I will let the boss fight that was running in the background play out now, just so you have an idea of what to expect. Okay, bye!